The Nier series has always been one that fascinated me. I didn't really know much about it. Oh, well. Trying to wait for this to stop so I can talk and not have the music cut around in the footage when I edit it. Welcome back to News to Me, where it might not be news to you, but it's news to me. Nier Automata has always been a game that really stood out to me. From the music, to the characters, to the story, to the combat system, to the chip system, to the amount of weapons, to even controlling the map screen was interesting to me. The game offered up a lot of questions philosophically and morally, and it had a very solid core to it, being what makes a human, what do people fight for, the idea of just, what do people think of as reasons to live? What reasons do people have to live, and what meaning do they assign to their life through those reasons? Very complex game, yeah. It's there's a lot to it. So when I found out last year that there was going to be an orchestrated concert for the music of the Nier series, I was all in. Dude, I'm in there. The Nier music has been some of my favorite music from the year it came out, right up there with Persona 5. City Ruins has always been one of my favorite tracks, and Weight of the World was definitely an excellent track. So, the Nier Automata concert, we went, my roommate, and my friend, we all we drove the 6-hour drive from our city to Chicago, and then Chicago back, same day. We split it up 4-4-4, so that was nice. I drove the first 4 hours, and then my roommate drove 2 hours, and then 2 hours on the way back. And then our other friend drove the rest of the way back. So that was very nice. Let's get into the actual event, though. Well, so the first thing you should know about Chicago, if you've never been before like me, it's crowded as heck. The traffic was drive or be driven over. There was trying to leave the mall that was near the theater that we went to. There were cars driving on the other side of the street, just beep, 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 honking their horn, letting everybody know, hey, I'm going the wrong way. It was honestly kind of intense. And while the mall was relatively close to the theater, it's about 3 minutes away by drive, but we were pretty much just on the cusp of the parking lot from the mall, the Fashion Outlets Mall of Chicago. And in order to get some merch, we had to send me off as an envoy because driver had to drive, and I was the only person in the back who actually wanted to get merch. So I ran in, and boy, you'll see. The line to that place was abso-freaking-lutely ridiculous. Just to get merch. I'm gonna show you a video I took when I was in the actual theater. Line starts here, then goes there, and turns all the way around that corner, and loops back around down that way. So yeah, thankfully, I have hatched up a little scheme, right? And my idea was to get a little closer. So obviously, that's a long line. And in this world, it's finesse or be finessed. I kind of stood behind the sign, looking into it, slowly kind of immersing myself into the line without looking at anybody. At first it was just to sort of see the prices, but then I realized that I would probably be able to sneak to blend into the line. So I stood there for a little bit, and then my friends finally came in, and they sort of joined the other group. And that's when I started really hearing the people behind me like,
man, some people are just freaked up.
And I was obviously being called out, and not wanting to cause any sort of incident, we did the old switcheroo. So my friends took my spot in line and I left, so it would cause less of an issue because they had already spotted me. I was already seeing it. It was, Nani? Who is that guy? Get him out. So, thankfully, I did get some merch, my adorable music box, and then the concert started. The concert was, by the time we got in, we filed in, a lot of people were already seated. There was a bunch of cosplay. I got some cosplay pictures that'll probably be thrown up while I'm talking, but there was a lot of cosplay. There were a lot of really great costumes. Everybody was there. Everybody had a great time. The orchestra was amazing. I believe they were the World Festival Symphony Orchestra and Chorus. Now, I couldn't really find a lot of information on them online, except that they were playing with except for that they were playing that night.
Okabe is here.
The composer that night was Arnie Roth. Apparently he's won a couple Grammys, which it shows because he did an amazing job. There were even some guest performances by Emmy Evans, who is the lead vocalist for the Nier franchise. She does a lot of the vocals on the tracks, and for the entire series, I believe. The composer for the entire series, Keiichi Okabe, also made an appearance. He was very humble, very nice. I did yell things at him in Japanese, pleasant things. I wanted him to know that I appreciated his work, so, you know, the usual, omedetou, arigatou gozaimasu, daisuki da yo, okebe-tama. Yoko Taro actually made an appearance too. The man, the myth, the legend. Creative head behind the Nier Automata, in Nier Gestalt, and Nier Replica, and yeah, I think Drakengard too. There's a whole series of Nier games that I was definitely not as initiated in before Nier Automata came out. Still haven't played any of the other ones but Nier Automata, but I really like the music from Nier Gestalt and Replica. So, in the actual concert hall itself, there were giant screens that were showing images, basically cutscenes from the game. Although, from what I'm told, so like I said, I haven't played the first two Nier games, so and that's because they were a lot older. That's because they're a lot older and they're a bit harder to come across these days. They told us that they were going to be showing off some brand new visuals that they had never seen before. Even made a joke about how they rushed to finish it. But I think they would have just been better off showing the footage from the games like they did in the other countries, because the footage they showed was kind of bad. It was just like raindrops and a light fading in and out. I would have much rather, me personally at least, I would have preferred watching the cutscenes and just the text that they had interspliced into it, because I got most of the story from the text that they had on the screen, and there was no need for just those boring kind of stock image background clips. I honestly just would have preferred watching things happen from the game. That was an overview of the concert. As for the tracks that were played, I don't know a lot of the songs from the other Nier games by heart. I know they played Kaine and Song of the Ancients, and their rendition of City Ruins, Amusement Park, and The Alien Ship, and Weight of the World from Nier Automata, four really great songs. First chair violin killed it, and the second chair cellist looked like Emperor Palpatine, so that was really nice. I think my favorite part of the night was just meeting all the people, all the fans, seeing all the fans who decided to dress up and who wanted to just hang out and really get together to experience just a celebration of a video game franchise they loved. And I think that's that's pretty good. I think there's something wonderful about just a collective of people getting together and showing off their art and just being very passionate about their hobbies and the things they're interested in. I'm personally interested in Nier Automata and the Nier franchise, and that's why this is news to me. So, if you liked hearing me report on our little trip to the Nier Automata concert, then definitely leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe even, and I'll see you in the next video.